What happens when Bollywood's most celebrated family becomes the centre of a deeply troubling mental health controversy? The answer might shock you more than any movie plot twist. Faisal Khan, the actor who starred in the film Mela, has dropped bombshell allegations against his superstar brother Aamir Khan that have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. In a candid conversation with Pink Villa, Faisal painted a disturbing picture of alleged family imprisonment that lasted an entire year. But here's where it gets controversial. According to Faisal's explosive claims, his own family members essentially turned into his captors, justifying their actions by labeling him with schizophrenia and declaring him a danger to society. They held me prisoner in my own home for more than 12 months, Faisal revealed, his words carrying the weight of years of suppressed anguish. The narrative they pushed was that I had developed a schizophrenia, that I was mentally unstable and posed a threat to everyone around me. The plot thickens when Faisal describes his experience at JJ Hospital, where he claims he was kept for 20 days, subjected to various tests while being housed in a general psychiatric ward, alongside other patients dealing with severe mental health challenges. The question that haunts many observers is this: was this genuine concern for his well-being, or something far more sinister? Now, let's dive deeper into understanding what schizophrenia actually entails, because this is the part most people miss when discussing mental health controversies. Schizophrenia represents one of the most misunderstood psychiatric conditions in modern medicine, carrying symptoms that can dramatically vary from person to person and evolve throughout the course of the illness. Dr. Akanksha Pandey, a respected consultant clinical psychologist at Fortis Hospital in Bengaluru, breaks down the complex web of symptoms that characterize this condition. The early warning signs often begin subtly. Individuals might start withdrawing from social circles, losing interest in activities they once enjoyed, and developing an overwhelming sense of aimlessness. You might notice them having quiet conversations with themselves, smiling at seemingly nothing, or displaying behaviors that appear disconnected from their surroundings. But here's where the condition becomes truly complex. The mind begins playing tricks in ways that feel absolutely real to the person experiencing them. Their thinking processes and perception of reality become distorted through delusions and hallucinations that can feel more vivid than actual experiences. These aren't just fleeting thoughts. They can develop persistent beliefs that defy logic and cultural norms, such as believing they possess supernatural abilities, that government agencies are monitoring their every move, or that they've been chosen for some divine mission. The auditory and visual hallucinations present another layer of complexity. Imagine hearing voices as clearly as you hear someone speaking next to you, or seeing images that appear completely real, yet exist only in your mind. For the person experiencing these phenomena, questioning their reality becomes nearly impossible. Communication often becomes fragmented and disconnected. Their speech might jump between unrelated topics, or they might struggle to express coherent thoughts, leaving conversations feeling incomplete or confusing for everyone involved. Perhaps most disturbingly, some individuals report feeling like their thoughts are being broadcast for the world to see, as if their private mental processes are somehow being transmitted through television or the internet. Others describe the sensation of having their thoughts stolen by external forces, or feeling like foreign thoughts are being inserted into their minds without their consent. The behavioral changes can be equally challenging. Inappropriate emotional responses, difficulty maintaining basic daily routines like personal hygiene and self-care, disrupted sleep patterns, changes in appetite, and in some cases, aggressive behavior that typically stems from the distressing voices or paranoid thoughts they're experiencing. However, and this is crucial, Dr. Pandey emphasizes that not every individual with schizophrenia will experience this complete spectrum of symptoms. The condition manifests differently in each person, making accurate diagnosis absolutely essential through proper psychiatric evaluation, using standardized assessment tools and professional interviews. Unlike bacterial infections such as malaria or typhoid fever that can be completely cured with appropriate treatment, schizophrenia presents a different challenge entirely. The medical community focuses on managing symptoms effectively and preventing relapses rather than promising complete elimination of the condition. The silver lining? Early intervention makes an enormous difference. The sooner someone receives proper treatment and the shorter the period they go without appropriate care, the more favorable their long-term outlook becomes. Now comes the question that challenges everything we think we know about mental health. Can individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia actually lead fulfilling, productive lives? Dr. Pandey's answer might surprise those who harbour outdated misconceptions about this condition. With consistent treatment and dedicated adherence to prescribed medications, people living with schizophrenia can absolutely pursue education, maintain successful careers, develop meaningful relationships, and even build families through marriage and partnership. But here's the part that society often gets wrong, and it's where Faisal Khan's situation becomes even more controversial. The aggression that people with schizophrenia might display typically isn't random violence against innocent bystanders. Instead, it usually represents a response to the terrifying hallucinations they're experiencing. Voices that might be threatening them, commanding them to act, or delusions that make them believe they're in immediate danger. While individuals with schizophrenia aren't inherently dangerous to society at large, their distorted perception of reality can occasionally lead them to harm themselves or others. Whether these are people they know intimately or complete strangers. The key factor is understanding that these actions stem from their abnormal psychological experiences rather than inherent maliciousness. This brings us to a comfortable truth about public perception and family dynamics. Society's widespread misunderstanding of mental health conditions often leads to fear-based reactions when someone exhibits socially inappropriate behavior. Dr. Pandey strongly advocates against using harmful labels like mad or mentally unstable, as these terms only strengthen the destructive stigma that prevents people from seeking help. Instead of responding with aggression, name-calling, or public criticism, she recommends approaching individuals with mental health challenges through empathy and understanding, an approach that proves far more effective in supporting their recovery and integration into society. And this is where Faisal Khan's allegations become deeply troubling and worthy of serious discussion. If his claims prove accurate, they raise profound questions about the line between family intervention and potential abuse of someone vulnerable due to mental health struggles. Here's the controversial question that nobody wants to ask. When does family concern cross the line into something more sinister? Was Faisal's alleged confinement a genuine attempt to protect him and society? Or could it represent something far more calculated, perhaps involving career competition, inheritance disputes, or family power dynamics that we're only beginning to understand? The entertainment industry has a long history of mental health being weaponized against individuals who threaten established hierarchies or financial interests. Could this be another example of that disturbing pattern? What do you think? Should families have the authority to confine adult relatives based on mental health concerns? Or does this cross ethical and legal boundaries? Have we as a society created an environment where mental health stigma can be exploited for personal gain? Share your thoughts. Do you believe Faisal's allegations deserve deeper investigation? Or do you think families sometimes need to take drastic measures to protect everyone involved? The comments section awaits your perspective on this complex and controversial situation.